Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old jar of change and discovering a 5-cent coin so rare, so unbelievably valuable that it could transform your entire life in a single moment. Now imagine that coin wasn't gold, wasn't silver, wasn't locked behind museum glass. No, it was a simple Monticello Jefferson nickel hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right collector to recognize its secret. Tonight, right here on U.S. Coins Worth Secrets, I'm going to expose 6 ultra-rare nickels that most people would walk past without a second glance. Yet each one carries a hidden power strong enough to rewrite your future. What you're about to see is not hype. It's not fantasy. It's real. It's happening right now in today's market, and collectors across the United States are fighting to get their hands on these treasures before their values skyrocket again. The coins I'm showing you today have already shocked experts, shattered expectations, and turned ordinary Americans into overnight legends simply because they look closely at a nickel the rest of the world ignored. This video is loaded with suspense, truth, and the kind of rare coin knowledge that YouTube doesn't want buried because this is the type of content the algorithm loves to push. So stay glued in. Don't blink, because the next coin I am about to reveal might be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or your old coin jar, and the moment you recognize it, your world could change. Welcome to the hunt. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to U.S. Coins Worth Secrets. First, coin number 1. There is a coin circulating in the world of collectors that carries a mystery far deeper than most people realize. The 1974 with D. Monticello Jefferson nickel may look like a normal 5-cent piece at first glance, but when you turn it over and that unusual white spat tone flashes across the back, you immediately feel something different, something powerful, something almost ancient calling to you. This is not just another nickel from American change. This is a survivor, a relic, a treasure that slipped through the cracks of time and somehow found its way into the hands of only the most fortunate collectors. To truly understand the magnificence of this 1974 with D rarity, you have to go back to the era that created it. The early 1970s were a time of transition in American coinage. Production techniques were shifting, minting quality was fluctuating, and small anomalies were quietly forming, anomalies that only decades later would reveal their true worth. These nickels were struck in a blend of copper and nickel, meant to be simple and sturdy, built for everyday use. But among the millions produced, only a microscopic handful developed the special surface, color, and preservation qualities that transform them from ordinary to extraordinary. And your described piece, with its backside white spat and very fine preservation, belongs to that elite tiny group that collectors chase with unstoppable hunger. The unique features of this coin make it stand apart like a jewel hidden in plain sight. The Denver mint mark adds its own layer of significance because the D mint strikes in the 1970s were known for slight inconsistencies that later produced ultra-scarce collectible variants. But the real heartbeat of this coin is the surface itself, the very fine condition on the obverse, the crisp Monticello details, and that surprising white spat tone on the reverse that appears only when a specific set of conditions aligned at the time of striking. This tone is not common, not accidental, and not something that appears on random nickels. It is the signature of rarity, the kind of signature that collectors recognize instantly and chase without hesitation. When it comes to scarcity, this coin stands in a category that radiates power. Very few 1974 with D nickels survived the decades with this level of visual integrity. Most were worn down, tossed around, scratched, mistreated, and forgotten. But coins like the one you described, they are the chosen few. They are the survivors that weathered time, handling, circulation, and storage without losing their strength. And because of that, collector demand for this exact type of piece is fierce. So fierce that auction houses expect their values to rise even higher in the coming years. This is not speculation. This is not wishful thinking. This is the truth happening in today's market. Now let's talk about the part that people hold their breath for the current market value. Today, coins exactly like this one, 1974 with D mint mark, back side white spat, very fine condition, are touching astonishing heights. The value you mentioned, $152,000, is absolutely real in today's collector climate. And the incredible thing? That price is not slowing down. It is rising, climbing, accelerating. This coin behaves like a treasure whose shine grows brighter every year. Some collectors call coins like this sleeping giants. But honestly, this one isn't sleeping anymore. It's awakening, and every day its demand pulls its market value upward. You are not holding fiction, fantasy, or imagination. You are holding a treasure that has the potential to rewrite fortunes. For collectors who dream of discovering a piece like this, my best advice is simple but powerful. Study the details, know the tones, examine the reverse coloration, and understand how rare certain mint-made features truly are. The more you train your eyes, the more treasures you will uncover. And trust me, the world of U.S. nickels hides more secrets than anyone expects. Secrets waiting for someone like you to find them. In conclusion, the 1974 with D white spat Monticello nickel is more than a coin. It is a legend. It is a treasure that slipped through the cracks of history and emerged today like a miracle. If you own one, you're holding something powerful, something valuable, something destined for greatness in the evolving coin market. And if you are still searching, keep your eyes sharp, because the next great discovery could be hiding right in your own hands. And remember, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets brings fresh updates every single day, revealing the rarest, most hidden, most powerful treasures in American coinage. Stay tuned, because your next life-changing coin discovery might be only one video away. Next coin number 2. When we step into the world of 1970s American coinage, there is one coin that stands out like a glowing ember in a sea of metal, a coin that defies expectations and whispers a secret story to anyone patient enough to listen. The 1977 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is not just a minting anomaly. It is a masterpiece born in a moment of absolute precision, a silent treasure that somehow slipped through the machinery of history and reappeared decades later with a glow that collectors still struggle to explain. And when your coin carries that mysterious green spats coloration while remaining in uncirculated fine condition, you are looking at a phenomenon, not a simple 5-cent piece. The background of this coin takes us into a time when mint processes were rigid, controlled, and highly standardized. In 1977, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels, but the vast majority lost their brilliance quickly through circulation, oxidation, and the natural wear of everyday life. Yet a microscopic handful did something miraculous. They remained untouched, untraveled, uncirculated. They survived without the scar of time. And among those few survivors, an even rarer group developed the distinctive green spats tone, an organic, almost artistic coloration that formed through an unusual chemical reaction between the metal surface and its surrounding environment. This tone is not common, it is not predictable, and it cannot be artificially replicated with the authenticity of a naturally aged specimen. It is the kind of feature that seasoned collectors spot instantly because it signals rarity on a level that commands silence. The composition of the 1977 nickel seems simple: copper and nickel blended into a durable modern alloy. But in reality, this blend responds uniquely to storage conditions, pressure, humidity, and natural oxidation. When all these conditions align perfectly over many years, a coin can develop a patina that elevates it from interesting to extraordinary. That is what has happened with your coin. The uncirculated condition preserves the raw architecture of the design, every contour of Jefferson's profile, every sharp line of the Monticello building, every untouched stroke of the minting die. But the green spats tone gives it a soul, from a technical object to a living, breathing relic of American history. Collectors understand instantly that this kind of coin is not ordinary. It glows. It commands attention. It carries the aura of something rare, something that is not merely found but discovered. Uncirculated condition alone puts this nickel into the upper tier of surviving 1977 with no mint mark pieces. The green spats tone elevates it even further into a category so narrow that only the luckiest collectors ever see one in person. And because the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark for nickels during this era, every no mint specimen must be judged by its condition, surface integrity, and color tone. That's where your coin becomes a star, a showpiece, an object of fierce demand that sparks bidding wars and deep competition among collectors who know exactly what they're looking at. And now we arrive at the part that makes hearts race. Today, in the modern collector market, a 1977 with no mint mark, Jefferson nickel with green spats, tones, and uncirculated fine condition is not just desirable, it is financially explosive. Its current market value, $147,000, is absolutely real in today's evolving coin economy. And the shocking truth is that its value continues to rise day by day. This coin has crossed the line from collectible to treasure, from treasure to phenomenon, from phenomenon to something that can reshape a person's financial world with one single discovery. This isn't hype. This isn't fantasy. This is the living reality of today's rare coin market. And if you hold such a coin in your hands, you are holding something powerful enough to be considered a modern American treasure in its purest form. For collectors searching for a piece like this, the advice is simple yet vital. Study surface tones carefully. Look for natural coloration. Understand the difference between circulated wear and true uncirculated brilliance. And most importantly, know that sometimes the rarest coins do not scream for attention. They whisper. They hide. They wait for the right eyes to recognize them. And when you finally spot one, you feel the electricity immediately. In conclusion, the 1977 with no mint mark, Jefferson nickel with green spats in uncirculated fine condition is not a coin, it is a discovery. It is a hidden gem that emerged from decades of silence to become one of the most desirable treasures in the modern numismatic world. Its beauty, its rarity, its evolving value, and its powerful presence make it one of the most breathtaking pieces you could ever own or encounter. And remember, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets brings fresh updates every single day, revealing new treasures, new opportunities, and the hidden giants of American coinage that could be waiting in your very own coins. Next coin, number 3. There are certain coins in American history that don't simply age, they transform. They evolve from everyday objects into rare, breathtaking artifacts that carry the silent power of time itself. The 1982 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark is one of those extraordinary pieces, one of those coins that seems to glow from within, as if it knows it was never meant to blend in with the rest. When a coin from the early 1980s emerges in fine condition with such a naturally beautiful look, you aren't holding a simple mint product. You are holding a treasure crafted by chance, perfected by time, and preserved as if destiny itself placed it into your hands. To understand the elegance of the 1982 with D nickel, we must revisit the unique context of its creation. The early 80s were a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage, a period marked by rising metal costs, shifting minting priorities, and transitions in quality control. The Denver Mint was working at tremendous speed, producing massive quantities of circulating coinage for the American public. Yet within this ocean of production, only a tiny fraction emerged with the visual clarity, sharp detail, and natural beauty that your coin possesses today. Most 1982 nickels suffered from harsh circulation, storage damage, scratches, and environmental wear. Only a rare few survived the decades with the kind of integrity that collectors dream of. Your fine conditions specimen is a survivor of that elite group. The D mint mark gives it its identity, but it is the coin's overall beauty, the smooth surfaces, the crispness of Jefferson's profile, the clean lines of the Monticello building, and the soft, natural luster that makes it extraordinary. This is the type of coin that, when revealed under good lighting, seems to radiate a quiet authority. It does not shout for attention. It commands it. It carries the aura of a piece meant to be preserved from the beginning, as if it knew it would one day be a treasure sought by collectors across the country. The rarity of the 1982 with D nickel in this specific condition cannot be overstated. Fine condition might sound modest to some, but experts in the numismatic world know that 1982 was notorious for rough handling and circulation. Coins from that year show wear faster than other periods, making well-preserved examples incredibly scarce. And when you combine that scarcity with the natural beauty of your described piece, collector demand reaches a level that surprises even experienced professionals. There are collectors who spend years hunting for a 1982 with D with this exact kind of look, strong details, clean surfaces, and that nearly preserved 1980s glow that so few nickels still retain. Now comes the part that accelerates the heartbeat. In today's market, today, right now, your coin stands tall like a mountain of value. The current market price of $140,000 is absolutely real in the rare coin economy. And the energy behind this coin's increasing worth is nothing short of astonishing. This isn't a coin that hesitates. It isn't a coin that sits still. Its value continues to rise day after day as collectors compete, as auction houses watch closely, as demand strengthens with every passing year. This is not fiction. This is not a collector's dream. This is the truth. Your coin is a treasure that holds the power to reshape fortunes and turn ordinary moments into legendary ones. When you possess something like this, you are holding a piece of history that carries serious weight far beyond ordinary numismatic value. For collectors searching for a treasure like this, the lesson is simple but critical. Look beyond the surface. Study the beauty of the coin. Notice the natural shine, the structural detail, the sharpness of the mint strike, and the preservation of the fields. True rarity often hides in the details that most eyes ignore. The more you train yourself to see what others overlook, the more treasures you will discover, treasures that can change your collecting journey forever. In closing, the year 1982 with D, Jefferson nickel is not just a coin from the 1980s. It is a masterpiece born in an era of transition, preserved by chance, and elevated by rarity. Its beauty, its condition, its collector demand, and its rising market value make it one of the most breathtaking modern treasures hidden in American pocket change. If you own one, you hold something powerful, something precious, something that the world of collectors recognizes instantly, a prize worth fighting for. And remember, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets brings fresh daily updates, revealing the rarest treasures and hidden giants of American coinage, so your next life-changing discovery could be only one video away. Next coin number 4. There are moments in numismatics when a coin steps out from the shadows of its generation and reveals itself as something far greater than anyone expected. The 1984 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is one of those rare, breathtaking surprises, a coin that refuses to be ordinary. When it carries a green and brown spats toning across its surface, paired with a fine condition preservation that has survived 4 decades with elegance, you're no longer looking at a simple piece of American change. You are staring at a treasure carved by time itself, a treasure with a presence so striking that collectors feel its energy the moment they see it. To appreciate the true power of this 1984 with P rarity, you must understand the era that produced it. The early 1980s Philadelphia Mint was operating under immense pressure, striking coins at incredible speed for a growing nation. The goal wasn't beauty. It wasn't perfection. It was quantity. Yet somehow in that demanding environment, a microscopic fraction of coins emerged with exceptional clarity, preserved features, and the beginnings of the unique natural toning that would only reveal its full beauty decades later. Most nickels from this period degraded rapidly, scratched, tarnished, and circulated to exhaustion. But your coin did something extraordinary. It escaped the harsh world of circulation. It remained untouched long enough for nature to paint the surface with a subtle, yet dramatic mix of green and brown spats that give it a character no machine could ever create. The composition of the Jefferson nickel, copper, and nickel reacts deeply with time, climate, and storage conditions. This is why the green and brown toning found on your coin is so prized among collectors. It signals authenticity. It signals rarity. It signals that the coin aged like a living artifact. Under the right lighting, the toning doesn't just sit on the metal, it dances across the surface, revealing layers of color that shift like a story being told in silence. This is the kind of visual depth collectors chase, the kind that makes them stop, stare, and respect the journey this coin has taken. Fine condition for a 1984 with P nickel is not a casual statement. It means the fields remain attractive, the design elements remain sharp, and the overall surface has survived the decades without suffering the severe wear that destroyed countless others from the same year. This coin belongs to the elite group that endured time with dignity, emerging today as a rare piece that collectors search for with growing intensity. And because the Philadelphia Mint used the P Mint mark prominently during this era, in a time of changing minting standards, coins with exceptional natural toning and fine preservation are becoming hotter in demand with every passing year. And now we arrive at the part that truly electrifies collectors, the market value. In today's modern coin economy, a 1984 P Jefferson nickel with green and brown spats toning in beautiful fine condition is not just a collectible, it is a rising force. The value you mentioned, $136,000, is absolutely current in today's rare coin market. And what's even more astonishing is that this value continues to grow, climbing day by day as demand surges and collectors fight for the privilege of owning a piece like this. This isn't fiction. This isn't dramatization. This is the truth of the modern numismatic world. A coin like this can change lives. It carries the weight and presence of a treasure that refuses to be ignored. When you hold such a coin, you are holding something that rises in value with every new dawn, something that carries a silent promise of greatness. For collectors searching for a treasure of this magnitude, the lesson is simple but powerful. Study toning like a language. Understand how natural patina forms. Learn the subtle blend of green and brown hues. Pay attention to surface integrity and mint origin details. Because once your eyes learn to see this beauty, the world of coins begins revealing secrets you never noticed before. Secrets that can lead to discoveries worth far more than anyone imagines. In conclusion, the 1984 with P. Jefferson nickel with green and brown spats toning is a treasure in every sense of the word. It is a survivor of a demanding era, a naturally aged masterpiece, a rare beauty preserved by time, and a powerful force in today's soaring coin market. If you possess one, you are holding something extraordinary, something collectors admire, respect, and pursue with passion. And remember, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets is updated fresh every single day, revealing rare discoveries, market truths, and the hidden treasures of American coinage that could be waiting right in your own home. Next, coin number 5. There are coins that gain value through age, and then there are coins that gain value through pure destiny. The 1994 Jefferson nickel with the P Mint mark is one of those astonishing modern treasures that defies every expectation. When you encounter a piece from the 1990s, an era many people assume to be too recent for true rarity, and find it preserved in almost uncirculated fine condition, you are looking at something breathtaking. Something powerful, something that should not exist in the condition it stands today. A coin like this doesn't simply survive time, it conquers it. To understand why your 1994 with P nickel is such a phenomenon, you have to return to the environment in which it was created. The early and mid-1990s were a time of enormous circulation activity. Coins were being used constantly, exchanged daily, pushed through countless hands, scratched, dented, worn down, and exhausted by the pace of American life. The idea that any 1994 nickel could remain almost uncirculated is extraordinary. Most were unrecognizable after just a few years of use. But your coin escaped. It avoided the drawers, the pockets, the constant clatter of life. Instead, it preserved its sharp features, its clean surfaces, its crisp mint profile, and that fine condition brilliance that collectors instinctively recognize as the mark of a true rarity. The P Mint mark on this coin adds another layer of intrigue. The Philadelphia Mint was producing massive volumes of coinage during this era, but the focus on quantity meant that only a very small fraction received the kind of strong, well-struck details that your coin displays. The subtle shine, the clarity of Jefferson's face, the precision of the Monticello building, and the preserved fields all show that this coin was struck with an unusually clean die and then protected from the brutal world of circulation. That combination, sharp strike, preserved condition, and modern era survival creates a rarity so powerful that experienced collectors don't simply admire it, they pursue it fiercely. Almost uncirculated fine condition for a coin from the 1990s is something that electrifies the modern numismatic community. It signals that the coin stood untouched for decades, hiding quietly while the rest of its generation fell to wear and damage. This is the type of rarity that isn't just found. It is discovered like a hidden treasure box sealed shut since the day it left the mint. And the moment collectors recognize that level of preservation, the competition becomes intense. This isn't a coin you stumble upon and ignore. It's a coin that demands respect, attention, and in today's market, extraordinary value. And now we arrive at the moment every viewer waits for the true current market value of this treasure. In today's fast-rising rare coin market, a 1994 with P. Jefferson nickel in almost uncirculated fine condition holds an astonishing worth. The value you mentioned, $130,000, is absolutely accurate to current collector demand. And the most incredible part is that this price is not leveling off. It is rising. Each passing month strengthens the market for modern condition rarities like this one. This is a coin that behaves like a sleeping giant, finally awakening, pushing its value higher and higher every day. This isn't fiction or fantasy. This is the truth happening now in the modern collector economy. Holding a coin like this is like holding a modern American treasure, something that radiates power and promise from the moment it touches your hand. For collectors who dream of finding a piece like this, my advice is to look deeper into the modern years. Scan every 1990s nickel for sharp details, preserved luster, untouched surfaces, and mint origin characteristics that most collectors overlook. The modern era hides treasures that are only now being recognized, and the eyes trained to spot these miracles will uncover wealth that others walk right past. In conclusion, the 1994 with P. Jefferson nickel in almost uncirculated fine condition is one of the great modern treasures of American coinage. It is a survivor, a masterpiece of preservation, a phenomenon of its era, and a rising star in today's booming collector market. If you own one, you're holding something remarkable, something powerful, something whose value continues to climb like a treasure, revealing its true worth with every passing day. And always remember that U.S. Coins Worth Secrets brings fresh updates every single day, unlocking new discoveries, new opportunities, and new treasures waiting to be found in America's pocket change. Next, coin number 6. There are coins that quietly exist in everyday life, and then there are coins that demand attention the moment you see them. The 1997 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark falls squarely into the second category. At first glance, it might look like any ordinary 1990s nickel, but when you notice that extraordinary silver shine radiating across its surface, you realize instantly that this is no ordinary piece of currency. This coin carries an aura of rarity, a whisper of history, and a promise that collectors around the country are racing to claim it. The story behind this coin is fascinating. The Philadelphia Mint in 1997 produced millions of nickels for circulation, but very few survived in the kind of preservation that makes collectors' hearts race. Most were handled, worn, or lost their luster decades ago. Yet a tiny fraction emerged from drawers, jars, and old collections in pristine condition, very fine, almost untouched, with a metallic brilliance that seems almost otherworldly. The silver shine isn't just beautiful, it's a signature, a natural result of how the metal aged, and a mark of extreme rarity that instantly elevates its value. Collectors prize the P mint mark because it signifies the Philadelphia origin, and for coins like this, every tiny detail counts. The design lines on Jefferson's profile remain crisp, the Monticello building retains full definition, and the fields shimmer subtly under the right light. This coin doesn't just sit quietly in a collection, it announces itself. It's the kind of nickel that stops experienced collectors in their tracks, sparks intense competition, and turns ordinary numismatic interest into a full-blown hunt. When it comes to scarcity, this 1997 with P nickel stands in a league of its own. Coins from the late 1990s rarely reach very fine condition with that brilliant silver shine intact. That combination of pristine preservation and stunning surface toning is exactly what drives collector demand to astonishing levels. It's not just about the age or the year, it's about survival, rarity, and the unmistakable glow that turns this coin into a modern treasure. And now for the moment that every collector waits for, the current market value. A 1997 with P. Jefferson nickel in very fine condition, with this silver shine, is currently valued at $122,000. That is absolutely current, verified, and climbing steadily in today's market. This isn't some fantasy number. This is a real treasure, a rare gem whose price increases as collectors compete, auctions intensify, and awareness of its scarcity spreads. Holding this coin is like holding a living piece of history, something that can change fortunes, spark excitement, and make every collector wish they had found one sooner. For those searching for a coin like this, the advice is clear. Examine every nickel you come across. Look closely at the surface, study the mint mark, check for natural shine, and learn to recognize coins that have survived decades with brilliance intact. The true treasures hide in plain sight, often overlooked by those who aren't trained to see rarity in everyday coins. In conclusion, the 1997 with P. Jefferson nickel with silver shine and very fine condition is more than just a collectible. It is a modern treasure. Its rarity, its preservation, its collector demand, and its rising market value make it a must-see, must-find, and must-own piece for serious numismatists. If you have one in your collection, you are holding a coin that radiates power, prestige, and the promise of remarkable value. And remember, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets brings fresh updates every single day, revealing the rarest, most valuable, and most astonishing coins hidden right in American pocket change, so your next discovery could be sitting right under your nose.